till the student joins. Students are still joining. So the pattern will be 2 marks and 5 marks question. Hello, Shivam, are you writing it down? Hello.
Yeah, sir. Wait 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sir. Start. Hello, sir.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, sir. Start.
So the pattern will be 2 marks ka 5 questions and 5 marks ka 2 questions. Okay, so that comes to 20 marks. All right.
Yes.
And for 2 marks का 5 questions के लिए you will have to solve out of 7 questions, and for 5 marks you will have to solve out of 4. Okay, so you have ample options. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so now
The
you
five
can.
marks.
Yeah.
Uh, two questions for 5 marks, na?
So all of you can write it down. Not necessary that Shivam should write and circulate, because I am not going to type it and circulate. So it's my request that you please write it down, and those who are absent, you can pass it to them. Shivam, what you are asking? Hello,
Nothing.
hello, Shivam. What
Yeah,
you are
sir.
asking?
I was just repeating. 2 marks, 5 questions out of 7. Five
Yeah.
marks, 2 questions out of 4.
So question number 1 will be attempt 5 questions, and
Yeah.
question number 2 will be attempt 2 questions. That will be 5 marks. Okay, that is the pattern actually given by the university.
Okay.
Okay, let me save the attendance. I don't know later on what will happen. Yeah, so now I'm giving you 2 marks questions, so you please write it down fast, and later on you can write properly and circulate. It will be 2 marks question. I'm telling you, differentiate between jigs and fixture. Just write down in shorthand.
Yes,
First,
sir.
I will tell you all differentiate. So differentiate between jigs and fixture. Differentiate between tenon and setting block. Third, differentiate between up milling and down milling. Fourth, differentiate between supporting device and locating device.
So supporting and
Supporting devices and locating devices. 4 हो गया ना? Then fifth, it's not Shivam should write, you, it's for everyone. Then fifth will be differentiate between foolproofing and redundant location. Foolproofing and redundant location. Then six, straddle milling and gang milling. Then seven, turning fixture and milling fixture. Okay, then question number 1 only. Now these are the 7 differences. Can I go for the next one?
yeah, sir.
Yeah. So these are the 7. Then question number 8. What are the different parameters for evaluation of jigs? I think this 7 there is no doubt, isn't it? Simultaneously you can ask also. We have discussed everything, correct? There should not be any problem. Jigs and fixture, tenant, setting block, and see in differentiate it will be for 2 marks. So you have to only give two differences. You have to give the two differences. You know our assessment. So just give only two differences. Third difference will not be checked. So you have to ensure that whatever differences you are writing, that should be proper, and from both the sides, left hand side as well as right hand side, both the differences should be correct. Then only you will get full mark. If your one difference is correct and other difference is wrong, then you will lose the mark. You cannot tell that give me half mark karke. So any doubt in these 7 differences?
No,
Anyone?
sir.
No. Okay. Then eighth question is mention the different parameters for evaluation of jigs. So this also I have discussed. That is foolproofness, location, clamping, how to clamp, how to load, how to unload. Like that there are 7 to 8 parameters. Then question number 8: why B block having 120 degree is more accurate than B block having 90 degree? कल ही डिस्कस किए थे हम लोग. Yesterday itself we had this. Why V block having 120 degree is more accurate than V block having 90 degree. Then ninth, what is the use of diamond pin locator? What is the use of diamond pin locators? Okay, so out of these 9 questions, 7 questions will be asked, and out of 7, you will have to answer 5. Okay, shall I go for the next question? Question number 2.
Yes, sir.
That is attempt 22, and you will be given 4 questions. Now the questions for this: explain the principles of jigs and fixture design. Question number 2: describe the general rules,
Sir, explain the
principles of jigs and fixture design. Explain the principles of jigs and fixture design.
सर इसमें वो 3 to 1 प्रिंसिपल नहीं आएगा ना?
No. जिग्स एंड फिक्सर डिजाइन के जो प्रिंसिपल्स
सर
है, इट इज
एक्यूरेसी लोकेशन वो सब आएगा ना इसमें तो?
हाँ, yes, हाँ, it is given in the PPT. Exactly, correct. You are right. The next question is describe the general rules for designing the jigs and fixture. So this is also there in the PPT. Just a minute.
आशीष for designing the क्या बोले?
क्या बोला?
For designing the
जिग्स एंड फिक्सर्स.
Hello. Then question number 3. I mean A, B, C. In question number 2, A, B, and this is C. Explain centerline theory in context to jig design. Hello.
yes, sir.
Explain centerline theory in context to jig design. So this also I explained how the centerline varies. So the 2 diagrams, recall 2 diagrams. How to keep the V block, how to locate the workpiece, and how the center line will move depending upon the position of the V block. Then A, B, C, then D. What are the principles followed for location and how plane surface is located? What are the principles followed for location and how plane surface is located? So here you can write, Ashish, that 3 to 1 principles of locations, 3 to 4 to 1, that.
सर एनीवन की दोनों?
No, this is one question only. What are the principles followed for location? There are not many, and how the plane surface is located. So It's a one question. And how plane surface is located, you can just give 2 or 3, that's enough. Question number 5 or D. What are the different supporting devices? What are the different supporting devices? And in continuation to this, explain solid support and adjustable support. Explain solid support and adjustable support.
So explain solid
Ex-
support and
Adjustable support. Adjustable support, that is spring loaded, and solid support, it's there in the PPT properly given. Then what are the clamping devices? Explain any two clamps. 3 A, B, C, D, E, F. Explain any two clamps. Why I'm giving in advance, because next week it is starting. So if you have any doubts, we have one more lecture, so that time you can ask me if you have any doubts. Then next question, list the different jig bushes. Means you have to just list down and explain slip bush and renewable bush. Explain slip bush and renewable bush.
सर ये दूसरा क्वेश्चन है कि उसका
ये
कंटिन्यूएशन?
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, ए बी सी डी ई एफ जी, बराबर है, एंड देन एच.
list the different jig bushes. Explain.
List the different jig bushes. You have to just give the names and then explain slip bush and renewable bush. So you have to explain what is slip bush and renewable bush with the diagram. Then next is, what are the different type of jigs? This is the last. And explain turn or jig. So what are the different type of jigs? Means you have to again name the jigs and explain turn or jig. So turn or jig you have to explain with a diagram. Wherever possible, you have to draw the diagram. So these are the 8 questions, out of which 4 questions will be given, and out of that 4 you have to attempt 2. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Okay, so I'll give you 2 minutes just to go through Ashish Panchal, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Huh? I'll just drink water also and come. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, Shivam, Ashish. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No.
Yes.
All the questions, answers you will get. I am giving you today because if you have any doubt, we can discuss on Thursday. Correct?
Yeah, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. All the best. Now we'll continue. We are starting with the press tools. So first I will go through the notes so
Hello,
that
sir.
I know. I'll go through the notes. I'll go through the notes because yesterday also I went to the notes for the jigs and fixtures. And why no? Because students क्या करते हैं मालूम है, जमा करके रखते हैं, isn't it? I'm telling average, huh? It is not applicable to everyone, so don't burn your heart. मतलब एवरेज टेंडेंसी कैसा रहता है, जमा करके रखने का, लेकिन क्या है कुछ देखते नहीं है और सब कुछ रहता है, अंडरस्टैंड ना? लेकिन देखने का कौन, वो देखते नहीं है। तो अभी कल मैंने पूरा भंडार खोल दिया एंड आई एम श्योर मे बी some students might have seen, but majority of the students, and definitely I can tell, uh, they may not have seen, huh? So first I will flip through the notes, okay, what it is, so that will give you a brief overview and then we will start, huh? So here, um, you have been given one book also, PH Joshi, that is good. So this is the notes on press tools, and everybody has, I hope, has got it. All right. So here it describes press tool fundamentals, then type of presses. So you don't have to, go for any other book as long as you can read and understand. And if you have any doubt, you please ask me also. Then hydraulic presses. So this is what we'll discuss. So for initially it is, describing the process, presses. Then what are the handling equipments which are required in press shop, huh? So because the raw material comes in the form of coils, so that has to be unwound first, and then it has to be straightened, right? It has to be straightened and then it goes to the press. So this comes in the accessories for the press shop. Then what are the different type of dies? I am giving you an overview and what are the different die operations, right? So some students, they are familiar with this, some students they might have forgotten. So these are the various operations, and even in day-to-day work you will come across with all these operations. So what are the press working terminology, or what are the press parts? So the if you look at the marking scheme, you will find that there are more marks than your jigs and fixture for the press tools. So as there are standard die sets available in the market, okay, which you can procure, so that reduces the lead time of the tool manufacturing. So if you are getting standard components, standard mold bases, standard guide pins, standard base plates, then your lead time is reduced a lot, right? And these are all different components, different type of punches, different type of dies, and it will be very interesting to learn all this. You will enjoy this. And remember, press tool designer, injection mold designer, they are in great demand, not in India but abroad, like countries like Gulf countries, then Singapore. So these are the different type of dies, like progressive die, compound die, simple die, inverted die. This is the theory how the shearing takes place, how the cutting takes place in press, how the cutting takes place. So there will be one question on this. What is the shear mechanism? How the clearances are given? Uh, some students may be knowing what is blanking, what is fine blanking. So blanking and fine blanking, these are different tools. Blanking and fine blanking. So fine blanking tools are very accurate and it needs very high degree of discipline. Then strip layout is most important. That is, before you go for uh, tool design, you have to first design the strip layout. That is how you are going to place your component so that your scrap will be less, so that your scrap will be less and strip utilization will be more. Strip utilization will be more. Then design of dies and punches. Design of dies and punches. So various type of punches and how to support or how to clamp these punches. If it is a slender punch, if it is a thick punch, how to mount it. Again, this is important from your theory part. It is slightly blur. Uh, and there is a book called as production technology by PC Sharma. So in that you will get all these um, in fact it has been taken from this book itself, from PC Sharma itself it has been taken. And different type of stops, different type of strippers. uh, Strippers are used for holding the component, because whenever you are doing pressing work, that time there is a tendency that your workpiece will lift up. So in order to hold the workpiece, there is a kind of a small plate which hold the workpiece. Then there are pilots which are used for guiding the strip. And going little fast, then knockouts are used for removing the strip, removing the component. It is a kind of a ejectors. So what I'm trying to tell, that it is very vast. At the same time, it is interesting also, provided you also put your interest. Whereas Jigs and fixture, what it is limited, it's limited. Then pressure pads, what is the use of pressure pads? And here the design starts with the pressure design of the pressure pads. Then you have bending dies and forming dies. So if the component is to be bent, then before that you have to find out the calculate the bending length. So how to calculate that? And forming dies is nothing but you are drawing dies, or suppose if you want to give a particular shape, so forming dies mean you will get exactly the replica. This is a formula. So numericals you will get only in press tool design. That is, find out the bending length, find out the how many number of draws required, one draw, two draw, three draws in drawing operation, and how you will design the die, progressive die. So in that there will be calculations, how to calculate the bending pressure, what is used, and then you have drawing die. So in drawing the clearance has to be more. See, now this is the punch and this is the die. ऊपर वाला punch बोलते हैं, नीचे वाला die है. So this clearance between die and punch has to be more, so that your sheet will pass through, and you will get a cup. So depending upon the length, of the cup, number of draws are fixed. One draw, two draw, etc., etc. So this is the theory for drawing. This is a theory for drawings. These are the types of the drawing dies: single action, double action. So this also will. So see how big it is. Then development of the blank. Like before you do the drawing, suppose if you want to draw a bucket, or if you want to draw a cup, जो हम लोग चाय पीते हैं, और even any utensils जिसमें हम लोग खाना बनाते हैं, राइस बनाते हैं, तो those are all drawn. वो सब drawn करते हैं. तो उसके लिए उसके पहले हम लोग एक ब्लैंक बनाते हैं, राउंड ब्लैंक. तो राउंड ब्लैंक का साइज क्या होना चाहिए? सो दैट इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज द डेवलपमेंट ड्राइंग. Okay, so how to calculate that? So how much reduction you get in each and every draw? So now here see number of reduction: first draw, second draw, third draw, fourth draw. Right? What will be the drawing force? These are the various type of dies. There is a clear-cut difference between embossing and curling and coining. So there is a difference. People think that embossing die and coining die is the same, but there is a difference between embossing and coining. You can see the uh, embossed die which is used for the belt, and coining means what coins अपना जो 1 rupees 2 rupees coins. So this was a bird's eye view for your press tools. Then you have uh, design calculations. So that will take you through the dice design, that is how to design the press tools, right? How to design the press tools, because you will have one complete design for 10 marks. A simple design, it may not be complicated design, because maximum marks in your semester exam is 10 marks only, and your in your unit test, as per my policy or as per university guideline, maximum marks is 5 marks only for unit test, and for semester exam it is 10 marks. Earlier, as per the old pattern, we used to have 20 marks ka question. So in 20 marks we used to have a 2 station or 3 station die. So how to determine the force? So force determination, force disposition, then what are the forces in shearing, what is the vertical force, how to calculate the horizontal force. Okay, so I will do, I will first brief you little bit about the press, and then we'll come back to the design, so that you can start with your practicals, die, progressive die design, which you are going to submit in the next month. And then one written assignment, that's all. And if everything is fine, then we can have one visit, industry visit, when you have to write and submit one industrial visit ka report. Then how to calculate the die clearance depending upon the material. Again, there is a mathematical model for this. This is then where to give the clearance, whether to give the clearance on the die or whether to give the clearance on the punch. Then how to select the press, what are the different specifications of the press, like you have specifications of lathe machine, specification of drill machine. So similarly you have specification of the press. The most important parameter for the press is tonnage, tonnage. Okay, then these are the different elements, pilots, etc. That is what we have seen. How to calculate the screw size. So there are mathematical models, or there are empirical relations also. See now, M5 by 0.8 pitch. This screw can take a load of 1000 Newton. So 1000 Newton is almost 100 kgf, 100 kilogram force. Then how to calculate the bolster thickness. How to calculate the size of the guide pillars. Then punch length. This is most important, that is how to calculate the center of pressure. So your ram has to be, center of pressure is like a center of gravity where the entire load is coming, where the entire load is coming. So that center you have to fix up. So how to calculate that center of pressure? Then press tool materials, that is the same one what we use for the jigs and fixtures. Then you have bending die. Again, you have bending die design, how to calculate the developed length. So one small questions, numerical question can be asked here, 5 marks ka, how to calculate the bending length. This is pretty simple, bending length calculation and bending die. Bending die design is not there. Drawing die design is also not there. Only you have to design progressive die with two stations. Two station. What is that two station? That also I will explain you. So this is your drawing die. Just a minute. Hello, I'm just coming from the examination cell. Okay. Uh, Yes, sorry, there will be always disturbances here. Yeah, so how to find out the blank diameter in case of drawing? These are the various sections for which you have ready-made, answers. Now this is a cup. Just 2 minutes I will take, and yeah, this is all drawing. But luckily you don't have drawing die design, because drawing die is a bit uh, complicated. Depends upon the number of draws, but it is easier than progressive die. So this is all drawing die, so this you don't have to do. So that's why I am flipping through the notes so that you know what to do and what not to do. At least you know कि what is there, you know what is there. जैसे कि अभी मैंने टेनन सेटिंग ब्लॉक, तो अभी आपको मालूम है कि चलो टेनन सेटिंग ब्लॉक करके कुछ तो था वो नोट्स में, 120 डिग्री वी ब्लॉक, 90 डिग्री वी ब्लॉक, चलो सर ने दिखाया, तो नाउ एटलीस्ट मतलब यू नो. See, as a manager, no, you should not learn everything, but you should know what is available where. ऐसे है, ठीक है. हाँ? Yes, you want to ask anything?
No, sir.
Yeah. Okay, we'll stop. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.